1x plus 5x and see what we get. So that is x squared. Now instead of writing 4x, we write minus x plus 5x. Welcome in this video, and here we are going to solve a quadratic equation using factorization method. Now, factorization method is one of the easiest methods in which you can solve a quadratic equation. Well, how do we go about it? So, we are given a quadratic equation here, x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. Now, for you to factorize, you need to do the following. You are supposed to find, remember, the general form of a quadratic equation is in form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. And for you to solve a problem, a quadratic equation, using factorization method, then you want to make sure that you are finding two numbers. Those two numbers could be any two numbers, but the condition has to be as follows. Their product has to be AC. If you multiply those two numbers, say you want to look for two numbers such as P multiplied by Q, their product must be AC. In our equation, A is 1 and C is negative 5, and therefore AC is negative 5. And if you add the same two numbers, P plus Q, you should make sure that you get B. B, in this case, is 4. So that means P, that those two numbers, P plus Q, you should get B, and P multiplied by Q, you should get AC. So if you are able to identify those two numbers, then you can solve the problem using the factorization method. So in our equation here, let us identify the two numbers. So those two numbers that if we multiply them, we get negative 5, and if we add them, we get positive 4. Which are those two numbers? Well, if you think about it, if you think about negative 5 and 1, or negative 1 and 5, negative 1 and 5. So if you multiply negative 1 multiplied by 5, you should get negative 5. And if you add negative 1 plus 5, oh wow, you get 4. So the two numbers are these ones. So we're going to take this one. Instead of writing 4x, we write it as negative 1x plus 5x and see what we get. So that is x squared. Now instead of writing 4x, we write minus x plus 5x minus 5 is equals to 0. Now we can factorize the first two and the second two and see what we get. So if we factorize the first two, then you have x into the common factor between x squared and x is x, then x minus 1, I believe, plus, now the common factor here, I believe, is 5, and then you remain with x minus 1 is equals to 0. Again, you have two terms. This is the first term and the second term. Then you want to take the common factor, which is x minus 1, because it is on both terms, and therefore x minus 1. Now in each term we remain with, we multiply that by x minus 5. X minus 5, remember, this is equals to 0. And finally, you're going to say x minus 1 is equals to 0. X minus 1 is equals to 0. And the value of x is equals to 1. And the second one is going to be x minus 5 is equals to 0. And x is equals to a positive 5. So that's how we use factorization method to solve a quadratic equation.